USD dollar, the US dollar, I beg your pardon. So on the weekly time frame, of course, we can see that price is to the upside. So I am interested in, buying the dollar long term, because, right? So of course, right? I'm just going to draw my fib. Okay, beg your pardon. So of course, we can see the price is reacting of 78.6% fib level to the upside. And my first point of interest in taking my profit on the weekly time frame, of course, is this fair value gap residing to the upside. And then my second point of interest in taking profit from the weekly time frame is from this. I will be interested in price taking out this high. Also, so my first point of interest in taking profit is this fair value gap on the weekly time frame. And my second point of interest for taking profit on the weekly time frame is when price takes out this high. So down to our daily time frame, of course, we can see that price is to the upside, right? There's a little bit of a retracement before price tends to the upside. So this retracement is just a quick sell to the downside on the daily before we, ride the dollar all the way up. And then down to our 4-hour time frame, right? We can see that there's a lot of gap here. I expect price to really fill this gap. It is a lot of gap. It might not take place today. The filling of this gap might not really take place today, but I am expectant that price will trade all the way into this fair value gap before turning up. It may not happen today, so it's a little bit dicey. Just, watch the market and see what price is doing. I will be analyzing dollar correlated pairs since I am seeing a very strong dollar, a bullish dollar. It means that other dollar correlated pairs such as the GU and the EU will be selling. So down to our weekly time frame, right? If I draw my fib on this latest swing from point A to point B, right? You can see that price is currently reacting of 61.8 fib level on the weekly time frame. And down to our daily time frame, we can see that price has really taken this liquidity to the downside. This liquidity residing below, price has taken it down. So my point of interest is I'd like to see GU selling all the way into this fair value gap. Of course, there's a little bit of a retracement. Beg your pardon. There's a little bit of retracement into this other block. So I would want price retracing into this other block, a little buy, just a quick buy before price, sells all the way down into this fair value gap. It will take a while before price really sells into this fair value gap. Of course, we're not expecting that price will get into this fair value gap today, but long term, I'm expecting that price will sell all the way into this fair value gap after retracing a bit. So we are looking out to, buy a little before slamming GU to the downside. Just like I said, on the 4-hour, we can see that there's a fair value gap here. And then there is a very wide gap here. So I am looking out that price will trade into this fair value gap a little before coming down, and it may also disregard this fair value gap and trade all the way here. So my first point of interest for entering myself is when price gets into this fair value gap. I will wait for my entry signature, which is base formation on 1 hour and duration on 5 minutes before I slam it down. But I am expecting a little bit of push to the upside on the Great British Pound US dollar. So for the 1 hour also, right? For the 1 hour, I also there's a bit of a gap here. I drew my rectangle already, and then I expect price to also buy a little to the upside before price comes down. So we're looking for a little buy to the upside, just a very little buy to the upside, but our overall view on the GU is a sell. My overall view on the GU is a sell. So when I see my entry signature, when price has gotten to my POI, I'll look for a base and a variation on the 5 minutes before I slam down. For now, I'm just going to sit tight, cross my fingers, and watch what GU does. I won't just run into the trade just because I want to trade. I mean, one of the greatest superpower you need as a trader is the ability to wait for your entry signature to come to you. So now to the Euro USD. On the weekly time frame, it's just basically the same thing for the Euro USD, I beg your pardon. So I'm just going to draw my fib from point A to point B. And we can see that price started reacting off 78.6 fib level. There's a fair value gap residing to the downside. So on the weekly time frame, I am really expecting the Euro USD to sell off into this fair value gap. Of course, it will take a little bit of time before it really takes out this low and sells into this fair value gap. Down to our daily time frame, right? I also want to see the Euro USD taking out this low and selling all the way down, grabbing all of this little liquidity to the downside. It's really basically the same thing here. You can see that there's also this very large momentum candle, right? And there's a little fair value gap here. Yeah, I expect price to buy into before it slams down to the downside. So price will come here. It will come here, but we don't know when. So we'll just sit down and watch what price does. So you may want to catch a little buy to the upside to see that price comes into this fair value gap before slamming down. And overall, I really expect price to come fill this gap here. Same thing for the 1 hour time frame. I expect price to buy a little into this fair value gap. I expect price to get here. So we're looking out to, catch little buys on the Euro USD also. When I see my entry signature, base formation, duration, I will be confident to buy the Euro USD. Maybe catching 20 pips, 30 pips, a little before, looking out for my sell to the downside, base formation, duration on the 5 minutes, and I am good to go to take my sell. So I'd like to hear your buyers, and I'll give the max one of my colleagues to hear his or her own buyers on what they see the GU, the dollar, and the pound doing. Leko, what do you see?
The way I'm still looking at GU, there's still no. Just let's see the way it is now. There's still room for it to rally all the way to the upside.
Yes.
So trying to short at where price is currently now.
It's a bit dicey.
Yes, unless if you see your entry signature. Aside from that, looking at the way it is now, you see all those void at the top there. Price still have high tendency of going there. And if you draw your Fibonacci from that high, that last swing to the downside, the retracement should be the 78% fib level. Yeah, that will be around that place you marked.
Yes.
That IOFED there. So inside that level, so that is going to be the premium level to sell.
Yeah.
However, if you look at it, you're still going to see that 50% good. 50% is resting inside that induced level there. You see it, and more of a flip zone too. So when we have a flip zone at that level, that 50% flip level, where price is there. Now, there is high tendency when price get to that place, like we were having discussion with the FS Bootcamp yesterday during their analysis session yesterday afternoon. We are expecting that when price gets to that 50% flip level, it should react to the downside some level. But the premium level to sell GU is still at that 78% level. And you're going to see that 78 level also has a confluence, which is a shoulder by that side. You can see that shoulder at the top there, then the forceful break to the downside. So we expect price to go back there. You get
8.6 level before
GU
slamming down.
enter that box before coming down. So if that's trying to sell at this level now, unless there is a clear entry signature, but just trying to say, okay, I want to, because the only thing there at that present state now is just the flip zone.
Yeah.
That's
where support stands to
you get,
resistance.
and that's why price is reacting there. And if you see it, price has just been stalking there since yesterday afternoon.
Ranging.
Exactly, ranging at that level. So anything can happen at that level. Instead, for someone to take any trade at that particular level, see your entry signature and use proper risk management. That's all. Thank you.
All right, so I'll call on Mr. Lekon to take his analysis on the gold pair.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, thank you. It took GU by yesterday. That's great. All right. Good morning. Let's go straight to now for the gold analysis. Let's just take a look at a preview of what happened yesterday on gold. And yesterday was a sell day and at the same time a buy day. If you are, just make sure you are not in the opposite direction earlier. So early in the morning, during the TDA, I was selling gold, and also in the afternoon too, there was entry for the buy. So let's quickly take a look at that, yesterday's move. All right. Now, yesterday, we can see clearly this was the move. Yes, this was the move yesterday. Yes, yesterday morning, this was the move. So this particular region here, I just refined to the lower time frame around this level here. If you look at it on the 3-minute time frame, you are going to see this forceful break and, this particular shoulder here. The moment price just came in and tapped into this fair value gap at this level here, just slam it down and just get what you can get there, and that delivers about 60 pips. Now, that is that. However, later in the towards around that afternoon period, you can see the break clearly here, this particular break. So price came all the way back again and come and tap into this level. So this is another potential level to sell. Can you see it now? This is another potential level to sell. And if you sold all the way from this level, it would have given you something to the downside. That's another move again. Then this particular sell here, gave us an entry for a buy. Because if you look at it, this is a sweep. Like, check it on 15-minute time frame. Becomes more clearer on 15 minutes. Now, this is it on 15 minutes. So 15 minutes, yesterday, we see this low here. This price came to sweep this particular low, and there was a clear break to the upside. So the moment price just came in and tapped into this fair value gap here, that was a very sweet entry. And you can see there's also another block there. So that was a very sweet entry for the buy, and that gives this large move to the upside. So if you bought from 2032 to 2044, so that's about 220 pips in the afternoon for the buy move. All right, so you sold twice in the morning, buy once in the afternoon. So that's a clear move for gold. Now going forward this afternoon, this morning rather, we are going to see on daily time frame what is our overall bias for gold on daily time frame. You can see that gold has just been, forming some kind of funny range inside here. And I believe if not tomorrow or next week, there's going to be a funny breakout on gold, either to the upside or to the downside. And like Cynthia analyzed on the dollar index, if you see the dollar index on the weekly time frame, like she did, look at dollar index on the weekly time frame, see what is going on there now. Can we see this? What dollar came to tap into this fair value gap. And if you zoom out to see clearly, can see where the price action is. This is the fair value gap, but there's still a possibility. This liquidity has been cleared. There's still a possibility, like she said, that price may still tap into this other block here. So if we see just the rally into that level, that may push gold a bit down to where we are expecting it to go to on the daily time frame. You're going to see that here. This is where we are still expecting gold to come to on the daily time frame. See this particular order block here. Still very much POI for me. Price should still tap into that order block or even clear this liquidity ESF. Can still clear this liquidity here. So, but price hasn't gotten there. It's just, playing around that level. So if DSY would rally on that weekly time frame to that order block as analyzed, then we expect gold to turn a bit all the way into this level. And after price get to that level on DSY, we expect gold to rally. Now, if gold is going to rally, where is it rallying to? That's going to be to the moon. Let's take a look at the monthly time frame. Clean. Now we can see monthly time frame, all these weeks here. You see all the week where all the bodies, rather the close of the bodies here. You can see that there is now a clean break of all those weeks to the upside, and you can see full body at the top. So if gold is going to break to the upside, you can see gold rally all the way to around 2300 and likes like that, just somewhere around up here. So it's very, very possible. And I read an article, I think 2 weeks ago, from one of a very great gold trader like that, who analyzed that this year is going to be a rally for gold. But let's still see, because there are other fundamentals too that should play out on that. All right. Now, on the daily time frame, we've seen that it's just, talking like ranging in between that zone, but where we're still expected to come to is down here. So the trade for today is going to be on 1 hour time frame. We need to see a clear break of this low, and that's what we are expecting. That's what still trying to form here to the downside. And if there is a clear break of this low to the downside, then we need to see price, come back again to this particular shoulder. You can follow it down. However, if you are looking at this particular for a buy, position, if you just want to quickly take a buy position, then this is going to be your move, because this is a shoulder that is being taken out, then break to the upside, then we expect price to come all the way into this level here, into this shoulder here. I believe someone would take note of that. So when price get to this place now, we need to see our confirmation on lower time frame. Remember, confirmation on lower time frame before execution. Now, if that is the case, what is the now trend? Like, what can we just get out of the market right now for today? Now, looking at it right now, I am still seeing some level of buy, even though the buy is very, very, small. Like, just take it and run away. And this is the entry. This is the entry right here. Can you see? This is the sweep. You can see this sweep to the upside. We've seen a break and price came all the way back to this level here. So this is still an entry for a buy, and that's where price reacted from to go up to where we are expecting price to come all the way to this fair value gap here. So this is a sell zone. Peradventure, you don't want to take the buy, and you are just interested in the sell, but that's what we are doing. This is the sell zone to buy to. That is the shoulder. Inside the shoulder, we have the fair value gap there. So this is on 5-minute time frame. Inside the shoulder, we have fair value gap there, and you just take it all the way this level. So when price gets to this level, you may want to take your sell to the downside, and your SL will just be less than 20 pips. So your SL will be somewhere around this level here. See, the SL is less than 10 pips. Is it? Like 7 pips. So this is the kind of trade that you just knock on big lot. But make sure that lot is not a lot. You get the point now. So just take it that way. And with this entry signature for the past few days now, gold has been giving this entry signature. For example, now this particular buy that is about happening now, your SL is very, very short. Like, this is the shoulder here. You just take your entry somewhere here, and your SL is just here. This is your SL. Now, less than 8 pips. Your SL is just 8 pips, around 8 pips. What are you targeting? 1:3. If your 1:3 is this, then you can just target this high, but the main goal is actually somewhere around this place, this fair value gap here. So when price gets to this place, you may just exit the trade. So this is the entry. I want to believe we all know reason why the entry is here, because of this last sweep of liquidity that we see here. That is this shoulder here. So that is the buy region, and that's why we saw price just tap into that level and react back all the way to the upside. So that's where we want to see it. So price came, tap here, then rally above. So if the SL is just 8 pips, you can easily just put your 2 positions there, but make sure the lot is not a lot. You get the point now. All right. 100 lots. Okay, nice one. Left to you, OYO. But it's going to rally. That's just it. So this is the move to the upside. Why, when it gets here, we follow it again down to the downside. Now, for the yen basket, let's quickly take a look at the yen basket. Yesterday on daily time frame, see, we are still expecting yen. Like, today is Thursday, we saw yen rally Monday, Tuesday, and since yesterday, it's been coming back down. And just let's see if it's going to clear this low, if yen is going to clear this low. Now, if you look at it on the 4-hour time frame, now 4-hour time frame, we can see a clean and a clear break of market structure now to the downside. So that is still implying that if we see a level of rally to this place, then we can decide to short the yen. To this shoulder, you see the forceful break to the downside, and price came all the way to this shoulder. Then you can follow it to the downside just to come and clear the daily liquidity. You get the point now, just to clear this side. So that is just on the yen. And if you look at it on the 1-hour time frame, you can see on 1-hour time frame, we've seen a forceful break to the downside, and we still expect price to come back. Where would price come to? Price should come into this fair value gap. This is a flip zone, a fair value gap, a shoulder, and this is more of a sweep. So we can see that happen You get the point now. So this zone, this entire zone here is a sell zone for the yen basket. Sorry, please. All right. Now, if the yen basket is selling, what do we want to see on the yen correlated pair? And if it's buying, what do we want to see on the yen correlated pair? We know that if the yen basket is selling, we want to see a buy on the yen correlated pair, and if it's buying, we want to see sell on the yen correlated pair. So if you look at it, sorry, excuse me. If you look at it on the GBP, JPY, if you look at it on the daily time frame, we are going to see that on the daily time frame is still very much bullish. However, we've seen price broke out of this range to the downside and it's coming back again, and it came all the way back into this daily order block. So what are we expecting GJ to do from this level? To some extent, we expect GJ to sell to get up now to the downside. Yes. Now look at what actually reacted to price here, the upside, this particular order block, the upside. Now, if you look at it on the 4-hour time frame, you can see on the 4-hour time frame, we are seeing more of a bullish structure. But look at what price did this last swing to the upside. After this long range, it broke down. Then there is already some level of market shift to the upside. Now, for if you see it on the 1-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame is clearly telling us that the market is bullish. Now, remember that we want to see a level of retracement on the yen basket, which should cause this guy to pull back to some level. You get the point now. Now, if this pullback will happen, if you see a sell structure around this side on your lower time frame, where is it going to target? One, is either you see this small order block here, this small candle here, or you see a flip here and a fair value gap. So looking at this level here, there's high tendency for price to pull back all the way to the 187,200 level. You get the point now? So that is what we should be looking out for on the yen basket. Now to the lower time frame, let's see if there's any entry for us on sorry, the network is a bit run out of. All right. Now this is it on the 5-minute time frame. All right. This is it on the, sorry for the breaking transmission. That's network, Nigerian network for you and I. All right. Now the yen basket on the 5-minute time frame, this is what we are seeing on the 5-minute time frame right now. You can see what price is currently doing. Now, after this stock here, you're seeing this some level of break to the downside. However, now if market is looking this way, just as if you are using a microscope, just zoom, go in to see what's really going on there, what's going on in there. Now, up to 1 minute. Yes, I know someone will say that 1 minute, why are you using 1 minute? There are times that the market would want to run you street, and you too should let the market know that you're also in the Wall Street. All right. So if you look at it now, you can see some level, what is really happening, this long range here, but we've seen a forceful break to the downside, and that is why price is coming this level. So if you intend to short GJ somewhere around this level now, your SL should be above this level here. And that's less than 10 pips. Does that make sense now? Less than 10 pips. However, let's see a clear break on 5 minutes if you know you don't have that mind and that liquidity. You know, one thing about this game is the matter of God. When you analyze, don't be a very big analyst that you just keep analyzing until market leaves you. There are times you just tell yourself, let's go. One mind. Get the point now. Fire it, ref your engine, or make sure the engine did not knock. All right. So that is that for the yen basket. If you have any question, please can type in the chat box, and if it's clear, let's know. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sander. Thank you, Moyosore. So any question? Any sentiment on GJ? Looking at GJ the way it is now, is trade your gut. You understand that slang? TYG on GJ right now. GJ is TYG. You go out, but make sure you have transport to go home. So that's it currently. All right, there's no any question. This would be the end of today's TDA. Make sure our ATM Plus is starting today. Yeah, our ATM Plus for Android, and it's not just for Android. If you have iPhone, it's just for phones. You get the point now. That we call it Android doesn't mean it's for Android. Please, I beg. If you have iPhone, but you know, iPhone, big boys now. Why you gonna use iPhone? You gonna trade, you gonna buy 30K course. No make sense now. You get the point now. If you have iPhone, just enroll for FS Bootcamp. You get the point now. But if you, I don't mean to, even me myself, I'm using Android, you know, so we belong to the same WhatsApp group. You get the point. All right. So the truth of the matter is our training is starting today. Make sure if you've not enrolled, you can quickly reach out to us before the training starts by 10 o'clock. Just reach out to us on our WhatsApp platform. I'm quickly going to onboard you. At the same time, ATM cash flow training is also starting this month, like third week, as in 2 weeks' time, starting, and the cost is 100,000 naira. Also, we have our FS Bootcamp. A lot of people are already enrolling for that, and you don't want to miss out on FS Bootcamp, and it's just for 125,000 naira. And our Sunshine Scalping Plus 2 is there, 60K. Just want to be a scalper, you know, your blood is hot. Just want to be going in and out of the market. We have your package too. Oh, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Did you please unmute us? All right.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm streaming from my laptop and from my phone this morning. The YouTube link, please see the questions and comments there so we can answer.
Okay, on the YouTube?
Yes. Some people were saying they've not been able to ask their questions or have their questions on the YouTube answered. So I said I should flag that to you. Yes. So over to you. Continue. When you're done, I'll just say.
All right. Please, our YouTube community, I know you can hear us right now. We are sorry for that. We are going to make adjustment on that. And if there's any question, just put it in the chat box there on YouTube. We truly would attend to it. We will do that, please. So sorry for that. Now, we also have, like we are saying, our FS Bootcamp is still very much on. Make sure you enroll for that. And the value flow models. Remember, I told us earlier this week that in the hospital, everybody is a doctor, but everybody knows their area of specialization. Is that value flow models that is going to make you specialize on one particular pair? You get the point now. So for example, if you are trading gold now, we have a value flow model that is going to make you, okay, to some level, a specialist in trading gold, because you are going to have the in-depth of the market. Value flow models gives you the in-depth of the market to the point where you too, you can say, no, if I see this, I have to see this, I have to work with this, I have to get this. Yes. Yes, value flow model is a course. Yes, a course on its own. And we have it for different, it's more like you want to specialize, like I said. So if you enroll for the value flow model, if you get that for the precious metal, we have all the models for precious metal that we are going to give you. If you want to specialize on dollar-based currency, we have the value flow models for the dollar that we are going to give to you. Not just one, like, you get the point now. If you want to be a gynecologist, you know the level of examination, a lot that you're going to do. Also, if you want to be a cardiologist and likes like that. Also, we have, if you are the type that trades the yen, so it's not just yen. We are only analyzing yen basket here. There are a lot of things that influence the yen. We have our YBI, we have our ISDR, a lot of it in our value flow model. So we are going to give you that so you specialize on your yen PS2. Also, if you know that GBP is what you want to specialize on, we have value flow models for GBP. Yes, very, very important. There are GBP USD, GBP SHEP, GBP AUD, GBP anything. We have value flow models for all those pairs that you can easily specialize on, to the point where even if you are sleeping and you just wake up and look at the chart, this is where the market should be heading to. Is the value flow model included in the FS Bootcamp? Now, this is it. The FS Bootcamp help you to start the journey, gives you some, in-depth to the market, and also help you to pick, okay, this is the particular pair I want to be trading. So when you get the FS Bootcamp, we give you all our trading strategy, full access to our community. You also have the access to our tutors to ask any questions that you want, and it's strictly for the currency pair. But the value flow models, when you now specialize, FS Bootcamp is like you going for your first degree and also your master's. You get the point now. You get it now. But value flow models is the one that's going to give you that PhD insight of the market, where you are going to be very, very, have the full view of what the market entails. All right. So that is that for the value flow model. Any other question, please? But does our entry signature ignores price action? No, no, no. Our entry signature does not ignore price action. Just if you see it, anywhere you see it, you take it, or it's going to be in direction of the market. You get the point now. So don't say that. Yes, don't see a falling knife and just say that you want to cash it with your open ends. No, that's not it. You get the point now. No problem, Mr. Kelly. Once you finish your
what does it mean by price action?
Oh, that's another question I need to
ask.
Because
let's ask what does it mean by price action? Don't assume. You see, some of these terms mean different things to different people. When somebody is saying price action, so let's not use terms. Explain it in simple words. What price action means to you is not what price action means to me. What order flow means to you is not what. So what does he mean by price action?
Yeah, so Zoom user, please, you can rephrase your question again. What does that
take out the word price action, explain it in regular terms. What do you mean?
Yeah. Olajmeji, it is yes, you are correct. It's compulsory. So when you finish your first degree, BSc, maybe you get your BSc, make sure you go for your master's, you get your master's. FS Bootcamp will give you your BSc and your master's. You get the point now. But value flow model is the one that's going to give you that PhD, so that you too will be called Dr. GU, Dr. Good, Doctor. You get the point now.
It's not about the title, it's about the withdrawal.
Exactly, sir.
Don't call me anything. Just let my broker be processing my withdrawal. I don't need your title. Keep your title. Give me my dollars. So we've seen what JPY has done, right? And again, I am saying this so that you can see how long it takes for price to mature, for price to ripen. This is the buy that we've been looking at that now showed up. So the question we will ask is, and we've done this type of exercise before, which news triggered this rally? Because it happened during Asia session. This yen dump happened during Asia session. Which news triggered it? If we know the news that triggered it, it becomes easy, right, to trade, to wait for that kind of news during Asia session. So you can know that, oh, tomorrow this same news is coming out to so time. Okay. Or next week is coming out so time, and then you'll be there to take advantage of the news. So when I see triggers like this, I go to things like newsnow.co.uk and I go and see which news possibly triggered this move. I go to forexfactory.com. Please, someone should check our YouTube and let's know if there are questions there. Let's know if there are questions on our YouTube. Someone in-house check the value flow YouTube comments and let's know. So what news triggered this move? And as price is going now, where are the possible pullback regions? Where are the possible pullback regions for GBP JPY? Why am I saying so? If the move happened during Asia, London people will come and will try to jump in on the move, or US will come and try to reverse the move. So once a move happens during Asia, don't just rush in. Look for the liquidity levels, look for the fair value gaps. So right now on GBP JPY, 187 spot 20, 187 spot 20 is a place for re-entry. That's about 80 pips below. Where are the other places for re-entry? Who can tell us some of the other places for re-entry that you are looking at to continue the buy? If there's a pullback between now and 4 or 5 o'clock, where am I re-entering? Any answer for me there? GBP JPY. All right. So where are the places for possible re-entries? Look at it there. There's a flip zone there, and there is a schematic that failed. What do I mean by that? 12 p.m. 12 p.m. What's that at 12 p.m.? Shoulder. 12 p.m. 11:30. Yes. Yes. A.m. Yes. There. What's that there, Lekon?
The shoulder.
That's a shoulder. What happened after the shoulder?
Sweep.
There was a sweep. What happened after the sweep?
Also break.
Break of structure. So where were the sellers supposed to take over from? Let's mark it. So mark it. Exactly. So that was our entry. And do you see that price stalled there? Price really stalled there. Then what happened to the schematic? It failed. So now that it failed, that is letting me know that that region is where we can look for trapped sellers. Trapped sellers. If you are a seller and you are trapped, so anybody that sold from that place that didn't use stop loss, they are in a big drawdown now. Yes or no, online community? They are in a big drawdown. So if you are a seller in a drawdown, immediately price comes back to that level. What will happen? You want to quickly exit your position at break even or a small loss. So how does a seller exit? He becomes a buyer. So he will buy back that position to close. So buyers are going to be introduced at that level to continue the buy. So where is the fair value gap there? There's a fair value gap there. Thank you. There's a flip zone there too. There's a flip zone there too. So between 187.20 to 187.40, those are places where we can expect to buy. Now, mind you, if we are going to buy, then there is a shoulder. Where is the shoulder? 6 a.m. Where is the shoulder? 6 a.m. Where is the shoulder? That's the shoulder there. Inverted shoulder now. That's going to be the shoulder. If price comes all the way down into 187.21 and pushes back up, that becomes our liquidity sweep. So left shoulder, upside down shoulder, a push back to 187.21 becomes our grab of liquidity, then a push back up. A push back up. So this is how we make a case for the buy. So that's the liquidity to be drawn there. Then we now look at sentiment. Once there is that pullback, we now look at the sentiment. If sentiment is still saying the yen wants to weaken, then we take our buy and we continue. Does this make sense for anyone?
Yes, sir.
If you are confused with what I said, please. When a box schematic fails, mark where it failed and take note of that place for the entry to continue the buy. Every time, that's why this box schematic is very important. You can use it for entries and you can use it for counter trades. Because once a box schematic fails, price will come back there and use that failed schematic as the launch pad to continue the trade. All right? Over to you, Lekon. I hope this is helpful. Any question from YouTube? If there's no question from YouTube.
The guy already make his, he said, price action in my question is candlestick formation or rather some candle formation like doji. Now, our trading strategy.
Yes, Lekon, you want to answer? Please talk.
Yes, sir. Our trading strategy doesn't, ignore all this. As a matter of fact, it is candlestick when we see that formation that we enter. So it doesn't, ignore all this formation. However, whenever we see that signature, that's when we go into the market. For example, you may not see your candlestick or doji or so, and our own schematic already shows up. So when that schematic shows up, we take the trade and we go. You get deep insight of this if you enroll for the FS Bootcamp. So we give you
like if you notice in the last 2 or 3 sessions, I spoke about Doji, Morning Star and Evening Star. We use Morning Star and Evening Star a lot. We use it a lot. In fact, Morning Star and Evening Star is actually box. If you look at it very well, this box setup. So now let's look at this box setup, right? That we just analyzed that failed. That failed. That shoulder exactly from 11 a.m. to about 2 o'clock on a higher time frame. This is an evening star. Let's see. I am almost certain that whole region is an evening star. Yeah. Boom. Is that not it? Candle number 1, candle number 2, candle number 3. Is that not stopper shocker?
Yeah.
That's stopper shocker now. Or is it evening star or morning star? Which the one going down is what? Evening. The one going up is morning. So this evening star. That's evening star now. Candle number 1, candle number 2, candle number 3. Price goes back to retest. And that's where it failed. And that's what pushed back up. And when price comes back to that place, that's the other block for the momentum. Thank you. Which is 61.8. See, don't just cram these things. Don't just cram them. Understand the liquidity concepts behind it. So that's why I asked you what price action means. Right there is your evening star. On a lower time frame, it is a box schematic. On a higher time frame, it is evening star. So look at what happened between 5th and 6th. That's a box schematic there. Yes, right there. 9 a.m. on Monday. That thing there, if you zoom in on 15 minutes, that's box schematic. Shoulder, sweep. I'm very sure if you put a line there and you zoom in on 15 minutes or 5 minutes, you will see a clear box schematic. So it's still the same thing, different names for different concepts. All right. I don't want to drag this because That's why we have bootcamp. That's a schematic to the downside. Although it doesn't close below, but if you check it on 15 minutes, that's a schematic.
Okay.
That's it right there now. Shoulder, sweep, pull back. Although it didn't go all the way, but it just tapped and it didn't use the order block. It didn't use the fair value gap. It used the flip zone where previous support became resistance. I would have expected it to go back to that order block. The origin of the, yes. And I'm sure when price tapped there in the future, 187.19, I'm sure there was some sort of reaction. 187.19. Let's keep scrolling. 187.19. Boom! Boom!
That was what
boom! That is now another schematic for the sell. Kelly's like, oh, may they just leave me with this market when I'm through with you. Bafana. Do you see how? That's why don't look at many things. Don't look at many things. Kelly said I'm speechless. So once you understand this schematic, it's now for you to understand yourself. So it's a point of interest. 187.20 and boom, he just tapped into it and price just gave. No, it's not bad. You see, this is the problem. This is the problem. The mastery is not in the analysis. The mastery is in the execution. It's easy to talk. Enter the trade. And that's where screen time comes. You now have confidence in the concepts. You have confidence in the concepts. Don't jump from many things, please. We know what we're saying. Please. Over to you, Leko. Thank God that this one made me look like a star. There are the other ones that it will not play out like this. All right? So over to you guys at the floor. Thank you. Cheers. God bless.
Thank you, the Eagle, sir. Every Bafana, make sure you are careful.
Bafana, my father. All right.
All right, guys. So make sure you enroll for every of our training. Like you see, this is just how it goes. And our students know plain and clear. This is how we run it, plain and clear. You get the point now? So we get the best of it. And our YouTube community, please, we are going to attend to your questions. If there's any questions, we are going to take it. From tomorrow, we pay full attention to your questions. We are going to take everything and work with you. All right? Please. So this will be the end of today's TDA. Like we said, expect value flow trading in Abuja in the month of March, where we are going to have a physical meeting with every traders in Abuja and its environment. Make sure you invite a friend. That friend that has been knocking big lot and he's been blowing the account, just invite him. We're going to speak to his account, his head, and everything. He's going to feel like a trader once again. You get the point now. Don't give up. So we'll be in Abuja live in the month of March. So please watch out for that and make sure you are there. See you tomorrow morning. The time is, yes, you get, are you our paid student? Oladipo, are you? If you are not getting anything. Only, okay, sure. You get it in your group. Very sure, very certain. You definitely will get it. So only our paid students get the replay of the TDA, and you are going to have the best of it when you enroll for our courses. Thank you. Cheers. God bless. This will be the end of today. See you tomorrow by 8:30 a.m.